everyone, it's Yitmarak and I am back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about some of my recent reads. This is basically a wrap-up of some of the books that I've read so far in 2018 because I haven't done a wrap-up in a while, but I'm only going to be talking about some books that I've rated from 4 to 5 stars. So this is kind of like a recommendations video as well because these are all books that I really enjoyed and that I think you guys should pick up as well. I made some notes. I got a lot to say, so I'm gonna try to talk fast, but I absolutely suggest that you speed this video up. First book I have on my list is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. When it first came out, the hype was real. Everyone was reading it and I jumped in that bandwagon. This book follows the character of Jude and her sisters, who are human girls living in the land of fairies, but in this world humans are seen as lesser than, so they are often bullied by the cruel prince Carden and his friends, who are also awful people. The main character is Jude and we follow her as she tries to make her way into the fairy court. She wants power, she wants to be somebody, she wants to prove everyone wrong, and after I finished the prologue of The Cruel Prince, I knew it was going to be good. Holly Black's writing was fantastic. I really appreciate her attention to detail and all of her descriptions were visually pleasing because I could really see this world and all of the fairies. Fairyland is supposed to be beautiful and grand, but it's actually like deadly. I really appreciated Jude as a character. I'm so not used to following like main characters that are going down dark paths and making really questionable decisions, but I think Holly Black did such a great job at building her up and creating her that even though I did not agree with some of her choices, I could really understand her and I could see where she was coming from, and I rooted for her throughout the entire book. And I feel the same way about Carden, although he's still not forgiven and I'm still mad. I really like that she gave him depth and we get to see a little bit of his personality. But I will say that the romance in this book is quite minimal. We're too busy dealing with the secrets and the betrayals and the murder. There's definitely some graphic content in this book. Like I said, murder, abuse, and there's a suicide, and I think those are all it. I did find the second book I did find the second half of the book to be better. It really is a roller coaster ride and a lot of stuff happens in the second half of the book. Overall, it was fantastic and I'm really excited for The Wicked King, which is book 2 to come out. It comes out next year. I'm really pumped and I'm really excited for it. I am sweating! Next, I have Restore Me, which is book 4 of the Shatter Me series by Tahereh Mafi. I have been loving all of the Shatter Me books since I started reading them last year, and I've been rating all of the book 5 stars. So, surprise, I gave Restore Me a 5 out of 5 stars as well. It was so great being back with all of the characters again. I really loved that this was dual perspective. We follow both Juliet and Warner's points of views. Restore Me takes place a few days after the events of Ignite Me, and things are bad. Both of our main characters are struggling. Juliet doesn't know if she's capable of leading. She's questioning herself a lot. Warner is dealing with a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety, which I know a lot of people appreciated, and according to others who do deal with anxiety and panic attacks, they said that the rep is very good. I really loved that I got to see new sides of both of them. Some new characters were also introduced in Restore Me. We have Nazira, which I loved her the moment she walked on. Then we have her brother Haider, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Then we have Nicholas and Valentina, who are Argentinian. Valentina is a trans character, but they don't show up in the book very much. Then we have Steven. Then we have Lena, which is Warner's ex-girlfriend, and I do not understand her purpose. I really hope that in the next book she has a reason for being. I will say though that I did eat up all of the petty like drama, as always. Henry was great, he was in the book, I love him, I love his friendship with Juliet. Adam was there for like 2 seconds, so was James. Castle, I do not know what happened to Castle. He felt so out of character. He feels like a completely different person. I do not know what happened to Castle. This is not my Castle. Everyone else was there, but not really. And the ending was insane. and it's been 3 months and I still cannot process it in my head. I feel like it's not real. I feel like it's fake. I have so many questions. It definitely felt really fast-paced. But aside from like the ending, not a lot happens. We're just given a lot of new information. Some new characters are introduced, and I feel like this is a build-up for the next book. The writing was phenomenal as always. I love Tahereh Mafi's writing. I think she's fantastic, but I will say that this felt a little bit more generic, and I don't mean that as a bad thing. It's just it reads like a lot of other YA novels, but that's not to say that it's not great, because I love Tahereh Mafi's writing, and there are so many great lines and paragraphs and pages in this book. The writing style has always been a reflection of Juliet's mind, and she has grown so much and she has changed so much, and so the writing has changed. We definitely get to see a little bit of that old writing style in this book, especially when we're following Juliet's perspective. Needless to say, I am very, 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 very excited for the rest of the books. I forgot to mention, but there is a transphobic comment made in this book, and I will find it because I don't know where it is. I can't remember, and I will find it and write it down below in the description box. Description box. Can you? Next, I have A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. This is the second book in the An Ember in the Ashes series. I give this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I feel about this the same as The Cruel Prince. I think the second half of this book was way better than the first half. We get to follow 3 perspectives in this book: Elias, Laya, and Helene. Listen to this book on audio, and it's really, really good, and I really recommend this audiobook. If you guys are interested in starting any audiobooks, definitely check out An Ember in the Ashes, A Torch Against the Night, and A Reaper of the Gates, because I'm sure they have that too. Sabaa Tahir's writing was, again, amazing. I'm really in love with the historical aspect of this series, and the way that Sabaa Tahir brings in all of these really cool, unique, fantastical elements into the storyline. This book broke my heart. Surprise, surprise. This story is so heart-wrenching. All of these characters are struggling so much with all of this death and war and the genocide of an entire people. And I can really see how much these characters have grown, especially Laya. She's become so brave and so willing to fight back. I'm always on edge when I'm reading these books. I don't know about you, but I'm like really bad at foreshadowing things and like seeing the clues. So all of the twists and all of the things that were discovered throughout this novel were a surprise to me, and I was in shock and I was gasping. I really appreciate this world. I am enjoying following all the characters' perspectives and their own storylines. There's so much going on, but everything's woven so well. I am scared, but also really excited to start A Reaper at the Gates. I've heard amazing things about it, so I'm really excited. I hope everyone survives. Next, I have Call Me By Your Name by Aciman, and I looked it up, and I really hope that that's how you pronounce his name. You never know if you can trust Google. This follows the character of Elio and Oliver as they have a summer romance in Italy. Don't know if I mentioned this, but I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars, and I definitely owe it all to the writing, because I find it to be so beautiful and artistic, but also kind of confusing. There's a lot of allusions and references to other works of writing and literature and also music, and I feel like if I knew about them, I could understand what the author was trying to say. There were also other moments where I could tell I was reading something that was supposed to be really meaningful and thought-provoking, especially towards the end of the book. There's this huge section that went on for pages and pages. It was just not going through my head. I was so confused. Aside from those moments of confusion, I thought this was a beautiful story that was incredibly written. I also really loved following Elliot's perspective because I could really see myself in him. I thought he was really relatable. He's really young, he is unsure of himself, and he questions literally everything. Everything that Oliver says or does, Elio overthinks to the end. Every look, every touch. It's definitely not a happy-go-lucky love story. It does has its sad and heartbreaking moments. Stories like this about older people telling the story of an old romance and then following them until they get older always makes me sad because I get this really odd feeling of nostalgia that isn't even mine. Anyway, I think that if you were a fan of the film, which I haven't seen yet, I really want to, but I haven't. But if you enjoyed the film, I think you should definitely check out the book. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up. Also, I wanted to mention really quickly that if you guys like the jewelry that I'm currently wearing, to hit me up, let me know. It's by Paparazzi. This video is not sponsored because my mom actually sells this and she has some really beautiful pieces. So if you guys like it, let me know. I will tell you more about it. The prices are really affordable, like $5 affordable. I'm just saying. That was for you, Mom. Okay. All of my social media are down below if you care to like follow me or talk to me or something. I am literally always on Twitter. Again, thank you so much and I will see you guys later. Bye.